we'll continue on then. So the Salt Lake County has a great lineup of speakers set up for us, and to begin with, I'm going to turn the time over to the Salt Lake County Surveyor, Reid Denman.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate having a few minutes to talk to you today. It's great to be here. I was telling my 26-year-old last night that I was coming to talk to a group of people about GIS today, and she asked me the question, well, remind me again what GIS stands for? Well, I decided to have a little fun with her based on some things I'd read recently. And so I explained to her that instead of, she sends me a lot of texts with acronyms that I'm not familiar with or don't understand. So I decided to have a little fun with her, and I said, well, when you're LOLing, instead of LOLing, you may want the GIS. And so I went on to explain to her that GIS stands for giggle in secret or grin in silence. And I went on to further explain that when you're LOLing, many people expect you to actually be laughing out loud when you're LOLing. So I said, you know, you may be at work, you may be in a hospital, you may be in a meeting, you may be in a library, where laughing out loud isn't appropriate. And so GISing is much more appropriate and safe. And so I also told her that it can also mean Google is stupid, as a response to stupid questions. Well, I can tell you already today I've received 2 texts from her with GIS at the end. So, and maybe I'll let her know the truth in a week or so. I'm going to have some fun with it. Of course, all of you know what GIS really means. And it means that you guys get to play in databases and draw maps all day and get paid for it. So that's always pretty fun. We've come a long way in recent years. It wasn't that long ago that it was inconvenient and difficult to share. It was cumbersome to collaborate. The technology today has provided us the avenues to share and collaborate and do all these wonderful things. As government offices, we create mountains of data. And the days, I think, as government offices and even private entities to a point, the days of operating like an island are pretty much over. And if they're not, they should be. Because with the technology today, there are really no excuses for the lack of collaborative effort or sharing or using this technology to forward the agenda that we're all familiar with. We compile all this data, and it's mountains. It's become unmanageable to a point. I believe a solid GIS helps us manage the data, makes it more useful, makes it more meaningful, and exponentially more powerful. And it's really what GIS is all about. It's at the core of almost everything we do, all the services we provide. Recognizing this concept was so important to Salt Lake County that we were actually able to enact an ordinance creating a GIS steering committee. And the committee is made up of all of the executive elected officials. The county council has a seat on it. Our county IT department is the technical support, and our county GIS users group is a subcommittee of the steering committee. And the committee is charged with promoting and requiring collaboration. It's recommending funding for GIS projects and recommending policy governing all GIS activity in county organizations. And that ordinance was approved by the county council. For those of you who are interested and want to take a look at it, it's listed under Title 2.46, Geographic Information System Steering Committee. In about 2009, with the help of many of the folks in this room, like Dale Birch and Ryan Sadler, Mark Miller, some of the others, we created a policy, and it was enacted by the county council, and it's entitled Standards for GIS. And it came out of the committee, it was approved by the council. That policy is policy number 1013, for those of you that are interested. It's a countywide policy. And as it turns out, it was a huge step forward at getting everybody on the same page with a common goal of a more collaborative and cohesive and effective way to build and share and use our information. It provided the framework to build a robust and accurate GIS from a common platform. And all county agencies are required to follow this policy. And it is designed, of course, it'll integrate all of our GIS with all the county data sources. But, you know, elected officials and department heads, you know, we could create ordinance and act policy and create standards, but we come and go with every election cycle. And you folks are really the ones that are going to carry the ball forward when guys like me are gone. It's you GIS technicians and professionals who are going to carry this on and make it work and make it happen, frankly. Elected officials, you know, sometimes we also are the molasses or the epoxy that grease the wheels of government, and you know what I'm talking about with that. We have an obligation and a duty to the people we serve to make this happen. And to see this collaborative effort today is wonderful. I'm a huge advocate for what you guys are doing, and I appreciate just this few minutes you gave me, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Reid. I'm Mark Miller. I work for the county surveyor, and for whatever reason, I agreed to do this. Then I started nagging everybody I work with at the county to participate with us. If this works out well, it's all their fault. If this is a phenomenal failure, as Tom can attest, it's all my fault. Let me take just a minute, because all of the county agencies were not able to present in the time frame we had. So if I can get everyone to stand up, just want you to see some of the other county employees that are around here. Come on, don't be shy. We've got a lot of county people spread out through here. What we were hoping to do is we're going to start the presentation. We're going to run through them pretty quick. As you can see, we've got a lot of information on the schedule today. We're hoping you could save your questions for the end. We've set it up in such a fashion that we hope it'll be conducive to some mingling, so you can hang out, talk. You obviously are not going to want to talk to me, but there's some other people presenting some things you're going to want to sit down and talk about. Feel free to grab them, talk, chat as much as you can. Now, we're all sharing one T1 line. So, and I'm sure you've all flown in the last few years. If I can ask you all to turn off your electronic devices, the doors of the cabin are now closed. You will be told when you can turn them back on. But if Rick's presentation fails miserably because you guys are all texting during it, I'm going to have hell to pay. Now, when I'm speaking, feel free to text away. But when Rick's up here, we need to make sure everything's all right. So with that said, the addressing folks are going to set up. They're the newest division in Salt Lake County Public Works. They're going to talk about what they're doing. It is Barbie Rollins and Izabella Miller. So they're going to take off right now and start their presentation. I'm going to jump up here and help maybe the transition go a little more smoothly and introduce the next people as they go. With that said, it's all yours. Thanks.
Well, welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me? I really don't want to start yelling. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so I'm Izabella, and this is Barbie. And some of them might know us already, and like Mark said, we are pretty new. So today we just want to show you what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. So the goal of the GIS and Addressing Office is to create and maintain addressing database, which is used to do the research, geocoding, validation. And the way how we do it, we will link every single parcel to the address to the parcel ID. So here are some examples of the data we carry, we maintain every day, and we try to come up with new ideas basically every day and see what else can we do to make this data better. So the first affidavit address table and feature class, we use that. We store the addresses that have been changed by the affidavit recorded by the city or the county, and with the new and old address. So like when we did the readdress of the Immigration Canyon, and the other canyons, a lot of people call us, well, I have the old address, I don't know what the new one is. Once you remove the old address from the mainframe, it's just gone. With the addressing, with the GIS, now you can actually put the old address in, and you get the new address in return together with the parcel ID. So that kind of makes it more user-friendly, per se. The next layer, the next data set we have available is the building permits, where we verify the existing address, known as the property location, to the one listed on the building permit application issued by the city, the jurisdiction. Similar things with the business license, where we verify, again, the property location against the address for the commercial and residential structures. The historical addresses is where we store basically all the readdressing projects we had. Like you have the example on the bottom for the canyons, and then the Midvale City, Harriman City, and other cities as well. They used to have their own internal grid, and once they went on the county grid to meet the addressing standard, that's where we still carry those addresses in. The multiple business address, we're going to show you some examples of it, but that's just like the briefing about what we have available. This is where you have several buildings on one parcel, and each building has the unique address. And that's how we basically store as many addresses as possible for one parcel ID. Similar things with this one, with the residential, multiple residential for like apartments, mobile home parks, duplexes. When you have different entrances of different streets with the building designators, and again, each parcel can have multiple addresses, sub-addresses, and so on. The subdivision address table is, we gather the information from this recorded subdivision plats, and that's, like it says here, those addresses are static, so they can be changed by the recorded documentation, either the affidavit or amended plat. And also we carry the corner addresses. Because the corner lot addresses, it's difficult sometimes when the county puts, the recorder's office put the address in the mainframe, they have to choose 50-50 on the corner lot. And we won't know really which one is the property owner, which one is going to use, until we see the building permit, or they call us and says, well, this is incorrect address, I'm really here. Or you guys call us and it's like, hey, you got that wrong. So then we can go and change it. Intersection coordinates, kind of similar thing. We get that from the plats. That's why we always stress it. When you, city police, when you review the plat, make sure the intersection coordinates are there, because it helps us, helps the surveyor's office with the center line, and for us as well to check if the addresses are in sequence with the intersection coordinates. And the last but not least, you choose which one it is. It's that we also are responsible to maintain the zip code layer, which is already, well, it's been existing for I don't know how long. We just maintain it based on the USPS website, the Salt Lake County street file, and based on the center line with the surveyors maintaining. And yeah, and here I'll take over to Barbie.
Okay, so we are beginning to build the address ID points. The data set is going to have a point location with the official address, and the spatial reference is going to be based on the structure, and all address ID points will be linked to the proper parcel ID number. The majority of these addresses come from recorded documentation. And for example, parcels with multiple addresses such as apartment buildings, trailer parks, or businesses with like multiple office buildings, they'll have an address ID point for each address with a unit number and so on and so forth. Okay, and all the data that Izabella was just mentioned previously, it all supports the address lookup tool. So for example, you have a parcel with a strip mall here. Here's a mobile home park. These are all single parcels, but obviously they have multiple addresses involved in them. and I will show you how that works. Okay. Okay, and you can search these by old address, new address, any address that's in the database, or by parcel number, by street, what have you. This particular parcel number brought back a business strip mall with actually 20 listings in it. We also had a hit with a building permit, one building permit, and the main address for the main parcel actually had an affidavit recorded too for the main site address. However, there are all these addresses involved on it. We also had a business license hit. And then, of course, we also reference other data in the county to, like, hopefully I'll get on the same page and be able to verify and validate addresses. And again, here's another multiple example. This, we actually have building permits. There's even a business multiple listing for the main clubhouse, and this is actually the Silo Farms mobile home park. And as you can see, this one parcel has all sorts of streets, addresses involved in it. And I think there was, 152 units actually on one parcel. So the thought of just having one address for one parcel just won't work. So we tried to come up with this, and you can access it through the GIS, through the Lookup tool, or through the web service. Okay. Let me show you this one. So recently in our office, we've done a lot of addressing of the canyons, and people will still come in and give us their old parcel numbers. Their old addresses. So with this lookup tool, we're able to find it by their new address, by their old address, and anything else that may be tied to this. Anything that has a hit in the addressing database will come up in this, so that we can inform them what their address should be. We can even give them the history and the path of why their address changed. So the last example I'm just going to show you real quick. Oh, maybe not. Let me try that one more time. Okay. So here's a corner lot that originally had this address as a west frontage number, and then there was an affidavit filed a year later, and it changed it to the south frontage, and it changed the street name. Then it again went from a street name to a street name. This way we can find this parcel ID by any of those addresses, and then we can get the correct parcel number and the correct current address. So that's Lookup.
Okay, I'll take over for one more minute, since we were told we're running out of time. Sorry. So basically, to continue what Barbie just showed you, we come up with the Flex Viewer website, which is still in the process of developing, where we're hoping it will be available soon. Where you could do the same kind of search what Barbie just showed you, but it will just show you it will just give you the visual as well. So I'll save a couple things here in the bookmarks, where you can see you can use the city bookmark, and it just zooms you to the extent. Okay, this didn't work out. Can I have your examples? Sorry, I saved the older version. Okay, okay, here we have a choice to search by the street, or the address of the street, which I liked about that. If you don't know the address, but you know the street or is off, it just gives you basically, okay, so I know approximately where that is. So here, based on the center line, the surveyors maintain, you can just look, okay, this is within this range, and then it will just takes you to it, and then you can just search, oh yeah, this is the home. That's what I'm interested. Let's see what what the address is. And so you get this information here. And then also pulls the information like what Barbie was showing you all on the locator, when you have all the different hits for this parcel. So this is the one way of doing it. Just close my table. I'm done? Okay, I'm done. Sorry, guys. I have to obey sometimes. Anyway, well, if you have any questions, you can always try to contact us. No, we promise you answer the phone and or see the or read the email. And talk to us if you have any questions afterwards. And if you want to know more about the website or any other data we carry, just feel free to talk to us. Thank you.